We have some footage that has been released of the fight that Jonathan Majors had with his ex-girlfriend.
You remember we talked about this a while back, Jonathan Majors. Yeah,
Yes.
You don't like him, but
I didn't say I didn't like him.
Yeah, you did too. You said you didn't like him because he was black.
What?
And that was what that's what I got from the conversation we had before. You didn't like him because he was black and you were taking up for the white woman, and that's fine. You got your side, I got my side. Is that not what you said?
That is not what I said.
Well, that's what I felt. That's how it was perceived. But anyway, so there's some new stuff that came out about Jonathan Majors. So I want to see what's going on. But anyway, do you think he's still guilty?
I think that there's probably something. I think he probably did something. I don't know that he did what she's saying he did, but I feel like maybe he's. I don't know. I think he maybe crosses the line a little bit.
Anyway, I don't think so, but let's just see.
Let's check this out. And TMZ has the story on this. Jonathan Majors surveillance vid shows car scuffle. Girlfriend chasing after him. Surveillance video of the night in question surrounding Jonathan Majors' trial has been released showing a scuffle between the actor and his then girlfriend. You can see Majors and Jabari outside of an SUV, which is stopped at a light in the middle of a relatively empty New York City street. Majors and Jabari can be seen milling outside of the car, seemingly talking, and eventually Majors appears to wrap her up in his arms. From there, you see what the prosecutors describe as using physical force. Once again, Majors picked her up with both hands and shoved her repeatedly into the Escalade. However, Majors isn't successful in doing so.
So what do you think about that so far? So he did grab her. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shoved her into the SUV a few times.
Tried to.
Well, she's little, right?
I mean,
He's big.
Evidently he didn't succeed because she didn't make it inside the SUV, so it means she was fighting back. Usually when you pick somebody up and they don't give you any force, you usually are able to do what you want to do with them, which means that he should have been able to shove her into the SUV if she wasn't applying force back. So sounds like she was a little wiry to me. Sounds like she was a little feisty.
Who's just going to let them pick them up and fling them around into an SUV without fighting back?
Exactly. So this is mutual combat that we're talking about right now. So, but I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that it doesn't seem like it's all one-sided. But
it never did. But that's what I was saying. It never did. It just sounds like they have like a oil and water relationship,
or black and white relationship.
Soon he lets go and bolts away from her, and Jabari quickly goes after him. The pursuit goes on for quite some time, it seems, and they go for at least a couple of blocks before Majors outruns Jabari. After he loses her, she stumbles across a group of strangers on the street, which we've actually seen her talk to them on the street, and they start to talk with a small crew consoling her.
After he was unsuccessful with trying to shove her into the SUV, he turns around and takes off running. I don't know. Guilty? You think that's guilty?
Where's he running from?
Evidently, she's a menace.
He ran from her, or was she chasing him?
She was chasing him. So he ran, she pursued. What the hell is going on upstairs?
He's playing Xbox.
If somebody's after me and somebody's abusing me, I'm not going to chase after them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Have you ever been chased after? Have you ever chased anybody?
Yeah, I've chased people.
Really? You chased after men before? And under that circumstance that you have chased after another guy.
Why would you just assume I've chased after men or chased the guy before?
Because that's what the context that we're talking about. And so you said, yes, I've chased someone. So in the context that we're talking about, yes, you chased the guy. And so
I didn't grow up an only child like you. Okay. I had siblings.
Well,
you got to chase people sometimes.
Well, anyway, even in that circumstance, if you were having a fight with your sibling who was your brother, if he was seriously abusing you and beating you up, and he turned around and run away,
I chased him. Yeah,
that means you weren't afraid of him.
I'm not afraid of him.
Exactly. You just proved. And so the thing is that I just don't feel like that she was in fear of anything really physically happening if she's chasing this dude.
A lot of times you don't think about, and I'm not talking about like brother and sister fights, but a lot of times I don't think that you realize how bad something can, like what could happen until after the fact, thinking back, like, you know, like that was stupid. This could have happened.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but I don't think that she felt like that she was in any great fear of being harmed, but she could have been because he is probably 3 times her size. But being that he ran,
But I think
and
you
she
just
chased.
get in like a rage sometimes. Like if I've heard stories where somebody cuts somebody off, and then they take off and they get so mad they chase them with their car. Like, yeah, you can get shot. Like a lot of different things can happen.
But I would say,
But you don't think about that. All you think about is you're so pissed off because you just got cut off that you're gonna go after the guy. Probably not even knowing what you're gonna do if you catch up to him.
yeah, I mean, I agree with you. But if you were actually in fear of your life or in fear of physical harm, I think that situation would be a little bit different. That's just me. I mean, that might not be everybody, but that's just me. Like, if you felt like that there was really some physical harm that could happen, I think most people wouldn't chase.
Jabari mentioned that these people were strangers to her. She just met them in this moment right here. In their testimonies, they said that they could tell she was upset, but they didn't notice any injuries on her. Now, 2 of these 3 people testified in court, Chloe Zoller and Max Manning.
Majors eventually makes his way back and passes the group, with Jabari spotting him as he strolls by them, seemingly telling her to stay back and stay away. She attempts to talk to him, but he continues to go down the street. Jabari follows him yet again.
She continues to try and chase him, but it looks like he doesn't want any part of this. It then looks like he tries to put her back inside of the private car. She doesn't want to stay inside, and he leaves. We then have footage of him being alone, checking into what seems to be the hotel that he stayed at that night. Then we see footage of her at the nightclub. What happened was, which was explained in court, is that after this, she met these 3 strangers on the street. She told them about what happened with Jonathan Majors, and they consoled her outside, and after talking, they invited her to a birthday party at Lucy's nightclub in Manhattan on the Lower East Side, and she said that she went because she didn't want to be alone. And in court, she said that she didn't notice any of the pain. She said, "I was upset about the cheating. It was on my mind."
We really don't know what he did afterwards. The only reason we know what she did because there was video surveillance about her going out to the nightclub. So he could have went somewhere else before he went to the hotel. It just might not have been any video surveillance. So I would give that the benefit of the doubt. But still, yet, you know, I don't know. I don't feel like it's at the severity that it's been portrayed to be in the media as of right now.
Well,
That's
he's
just.
been running for a while. He's probably tired. Probably just go back and sleep.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, why is he gonna come back though? You ran. You're gone. Why are you coming back?
Maybe he didn't know where he was going. I mean, look, you can't just be running in one direction. It's like, oh, I'm just going to run this. I mean, he may have only knew where he was coming from. He may have been going one way, but ran the other way. And then it was like, shoot, like, I don't know where I'm at. Especially being Jonathan Majors, like, you just don't want to be running in some parts of the neighborhood because you might get mugged.
So it says, as we reported, Majors called 911 the next morning for a suspected overdose / self-takeout station. When he found Jabari passed out in his closet, there's a video that shows him making this call as well, which he did from the lobby of his building. Once cops show up, he escorts them upstairs to his unit. The video also shows him leading them right to her, and she completely passed out. She's completely passed out in the closet.
How do you know she was in the closet?
Because he went home. From my understanding, he went home, and when he went in, she was in the closet,
So
passed
he
out.
went in and then left and made a 911 call.
I would have left too.
God, that sounds so sketch.
Look, you got a passed out white woman in your house. I'd have left too. I want no parts of that. I'd have charged her with breaking and entering. Does she have her own key? She got in somehow.
She lived there.
No, they said his apartment. Quote, not their apartment, his apartment. Meaning that she had her own place of residence somewhere else.
Well, she probably had a key.
Yeah, but still, breaking and entering.
With a key?
Yeah, you can break and enter with a key. If I didn't authorize you to enter my place of residence and we've had a skerfuffle and you decide that you want to come in my place of residence and I told you, and not even if I didn't tell you, if you know that you're not welcome at that point in time, I think that's breaking and entering. That's unwanted. That's unwanted encroachment on my personal space. Where am I supposed to go if I am having a disagreement with you and I have my place and you have your place?
We went to a hotel.
That's not his place, though. She showed up at his place. So, I don't know. That's just me. Like I said, that's just my thinking. I could be wrong. But in the situation, you walk into your house and there is a passed out white woman on the floor, I probably would have left too. I went outside and, and called 911 too. That's just me. Look, it don't even have to be a white woman. It can be any woman. If I found a woman passed out on the floor and anything like, I'm not standing around calling the cops. I'm going to exit the premises and call the cops.
It is interesting that Majors is the one who ended up calling the police, and we have that footage here. Majors went back to his apartment, and what is not shown is that he supposedly had to get the help of somebody who worked at the apartment to open his door. When he finally went inside, he found Jabari passed out on the floor of his closet, in which he called the police. We can see him talking to the police here in the lobby. We can see the police show up, and he's even in the elevator with them. And he called the police because he was reportedly very concerned for her. But we see the body cam footage here of the police officers who were there. We can see that she is covered now because she was naked from the waist down, according to Jonathan Majors on the police call. She's now covered. She's wearing a sweatshirt, and the officers are there helping her up. You can obviously see that she's not in good shape. She did say in court that she took 2 sleeping pills before and she was sick. In this video, you can clearly tell that she is in a lot of distress, and this does, of course, end with Jonathan Majors being arrested.
I don't know. I got mixed feelings about this now. Actually, I didn't have mixed feelings to begin with. Honestly, I think that he's lost a lot of money for this. I almost feel like he should have had his day in court before, he started losing stuff. I mean, ultimately, what happens if he's found out not to be guilty? Does anything happen to the woman?
I mean, listen, he's got a lot on the line. You got to be more selective of who you spend your time with.
I mean, I don't even know if it's so much of a color thing, to be honest with you. I think there's
So you're making this as a color thing.
Well, I think there's an added layer because it's a color thing. I don't know if it's as much of a black and white thing as a male-female thing. And so, but I don't know. You gotta be careful who you with. Gotta be careful who you date, no matter what color they are.
That's right, especially if you have so much to lose. I mean, you're better off by yourself.
Or not dating women.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Be better off by yourself.
Or
what are you saying?
If it was 2 guys fighting, like, do you think he'd with like all this? You see what I'm saying? Like, hey, would it? I don't know.
I don't know either.
If it was a black guy and a white guy, and the would it? I don't know. The world may never know.
Well, they'll know one day. It'll happen somewhere. If it hasn't already.